same. ADHD, we're running wild. Focus, fading, chaotic child. Turn the volume up, take a ride. In this crazy storm, I can't hide.
Just a reminder, if you're enjoying the show, don't forget to support us, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more. Your star ratings and reviews help others discover our podcast, so take a moment to share your thoughts. We appreciate you, and let's keep the conversation going.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to ADHP. That's Attention Deficit Hyperactive Politics. Will you please welcome your hosts, Doug Robinson, Todd Sellers, and Brandon Popson.
Hey, everybody!
Hello.
We are live on YouTube. This is the Attention Deficit Hyperactive Politics podcast with me, Doug Robinson, and my co-hosts Todd Sellers and Brandon Popson.
Yes,
How you doing, Todd? How you doing, Brandon?
Doing good.
Doing good.
Yeah, right
Now,
on.
anyway, I mean, like
Yeah,
right as we started the stream initially, the soundboard went dead, like completely.
We thought it blew up.
I
Yeah.
legitimately was scared that I just blew up my recording setup, and then it turns out it was getting power from the USB to the computer, and it turns out maybe that cable needs to be replaced, and luckily I do have another one, and I'm probably going to use that for next week. But for now, I have it plugged into the AC power and connected to the computer, so we are live streaming through my computer on YouTube and on the Twitch. So, yay!
Oh, we are still on Twitch. Okay, right
Yeah.
on. Brandon and I were just talking about that.
Yeah,
know
we're
that.
on Twitch, and we don't get a lot of comments from Twitch. A lot of the comments we've had in the past have all been on YouTube, so don't forget to share.
Well, either
the
way, if
stream
you're-
with everybody.
Yeah, hope somebody out there, if you're watching, feel free to live chat in, or we got a phone number up for you to call in and chat with
Yes.
us about any of the topics.
I will-
This week we're gonna cover some primary election results in the state of Washington, and then we have our usual slate of weekly news, geeky news, and what's weird in the world.
Yes.
But before we get to that, how have you guys been? Todd, how was your week? Well, actually, you know what?
Yeah.
Brandon was sick last week. How you doing, Brandon? How are you? Are you?
I'm doing a lot better. I just have a stomach thing that sometimes gets kind of bad, man. Yeah, I had a headache that day too, so I just didn't feel like talking. The headset is what sounded horrible that day, actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You have a headache. Well, here, put your head in this small vice.
Yeah. I was like, I want to talk, but I'm like, I feel like that would kill me right now. But I just rescued a little kitten this week.
Yeah, you were mentioning that, and you mentioned. Tell us the story again. What was the? You actually rescued a kitten, like not
Yes.
just
Yeah,
adopted it from a kennel or whatever. But
Yeah, no, my coworker showed up and I was outside smoking a cigarette and she starts waving me over and she had just showed up at work and her hood's open and she goes, my engine bay is meowing. And I look down in there and there's these two big eyes looking up at me and there's this little male black cat, just absolutely adorable. So me and my coworker managed to coax him out with a turkey sandwich and I grabbed him up.
so
and
the
then
engine was meowing, and that's not just because it was a Japanese-made car.
Yeah, it was and then I took him to the vet, couldn't get him all of his tests, so he's kept separate from my older cat who she's not a fan of this right now.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, she wants to beat both of her asses right now, but gotta get him fixed up, ready to go. I might give him to my coworker if this cat won't be nice, but yeah. He's safe and happy and warm, and that's what I'm worried about.
That's awesome, dude.
Well, that's the important thing. Any idea how old the kitten is?
I think between 4 and 6 months is what I think.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very small. He's very cuddly though, which is why this asshole here hates him so much because she's not a cuddly cat. This one loves to rub on me and give me cuddles, so I smell like him, and then I walk out to her, and she is not pleased.
We got a cat when we first moved into this house that we're in now, and we now have 2 cats because the first cat didn't love my wife enough and chose me instead. So now we have a second cat, and that
Because
cat
the first one didn't bond with her. That's hilarious.
yeah, and and then the second cat started to like me too, and it's like we can't just keep getting cats until we find one that likes you. Like,
Well, the big
Yeah.
thing is,
You're gonna-
if you want it to bond with your wife, don't let it go anywhere near you first. Let it bond with her. Let her bond with the kids even. But
That
it-
doesn't work with cats. They just choose their person. It is
They
completely
choose their
arbitrary.
yeah.
I mean, if you expose them to somebody before you expose them to somebody else, that might help. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
You can see the lump that is my cat working. What am I at there? Hi, Wonton. She's so mad at me. She just glares at me when she sees me.
So, what's the new one's name?
Well, back when I was younger, here's
It
a
doesn't have a
fucked up
name.
story. Let's tell the story finally. So when I was younger, I used to live in Texas for about a year of my life. I had a little black cat named Friday, and I would leave. Of course, I was going to school and all this because I was a kid. I came home one day, and my mom and dad were like, "Friday ran away. We can't find where he went to." And for 20 years, they told me this story. I was like 26 years old when they finally were like, I brought up the story at a family dinner, and all of a sudden, my sister and my dad started laughing their ass off. And so I'm like, what's going on here? And they come to tell me that the cat didn't run away. My mom brought it outside and like had it tied to a tree because it was Texas and was hot. The neighbor's dog broke through the fence and ate my cat.
Oh no!
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
And they just couldn't tell you.
rest of the family knew this. So,
Oh my
20 years
God.
later, they fucking finally told me. So, in
Way
honor
to
of Friday,
commit. Like
What?
you know your family can keep a secret. Damn, like way to
Jesus,
commit. Like
I know, right? So, in honor of that first Friday, I'm going to name the new kitty next Friday.
Aw,
That's great.
that's so sweet.
And they'd be like, "You got knocked the fuck out."
Mhm.
Yeah, find
Yeah.
out like, oh, so my pet was eaten alive. It didn't run away. Any other
Yeah.
news you want to give me, mom and dad? It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, also you're adopted.
Information that
The
could have
other
been told to
secret?
me yesterday.
Yes, or like 20 years ago.
How did that? Did it feel like a betrayal? Did it feel? Did it hurt at all? Did you have to mourn your cat in a different way?
I was shocked that they were able to keep the secret that long. First and foremost, I was like, holy fuck, you guys played this
mostly you were
close to the
impressed.
chest for a long time. Yeah, I was mad. I was like, the fact that none of you guys in 20 years had the balls to tell me this. That kind of irritated me, but it's your family, so it's like, happened 2 decades before. What are you going to do? Like, yell at them? Like,
And they had your feelings at heart, even if it wasn't your preference.
yeah, we had a horrible record with animals breaking into our yard and like crazy animals. Like I had rabbits a long time ago, and the neighbor's bulldog broke out of his fence and came and ate our rabbits. So
Oh,
yeah, my family has a rough run with those kinds of things. I think that's why I'm so
Yeah.
careful with animals.
I had some friends growing up that had some awful situations with pets, but I never had a pet growing up, so I never had an awful tragedy with one. The cat that I was talking about earlier that chose me is literally the first pet that's like literally mine.
Aw.
So when
That's
I
great.
And then Todd, before I cut you off, how's you been?
I've been doing all right. I mean, it's been really fucking hot, but other than that, I'm doing all right. When I first moved to this house, the housemates have had a dog and 3 cats. None of the cats were interested in ever being my friend. In fact, they would hiss and run away as soon as they saw me. The dog was like, "Oh my God, you're here! I haven't seen you in forever. You're gonna pet me, right?"
I love dogs.
Yeah. I mean, he was legitimately like Doug from the movie Up. He's like, "I love you,
my-
squirrel."
Yeah, I just met you, but I love you. That's such a golden retriever
That-
thing too.
I mean,
That is definitely a dog thing.
He's not a
It's a Doug thing too.
he's not a golden anything. He is part pit, part something else, and he is just all slobber and all bark. I mean,
Pits are the same way. Like people always say that pits are dangerous or whatever, but from my
Yeah.
professional veterinary experience, They were big, lovable lumps. The bad ones were the dachshunds. I
Oh
like
my god,
dachshunds. They're cute.
dachshunds are evil little fuckwads, man.
But they're little shits. Like out of all the dogs that took a snap at me, it was by far
Dude,
dachshunds.
I actually have a bit of a traumatic story about dachshunds. When I was a teenager, I lived in Issaquah, and we lived in these condominiums, and somebody who didn't like me had a dachshund. And every time they saw me, they'd send the dachshund to chase after me. And this one time, I was like taking stuff to the garbage, and I wasn't wearing shoes. It was the middle of fucking summer, so I'm like, ow, ooh, ow, ow, kind of thing, you know. And then I heard this, sick 'em. I'm like, what? And I heard, rah! And next thing you know, I'm climbing on top of cars to get away from this little dog who wants to eat my toes.
You know, I love animals to death, but if somebody sicks their dog on me and it's like a dachshund, that thing is getting like shoved into her I would pick it up and throw it in the garbage can too. I'm like, you know what, here.
That was keep in mind, Brandon, this was like I didn't have much time to think about what's happening. I just jumped up on a bumper of a car and was like, call your dog off me. And they're like, he's not gonna hurt you. That's the snarling teeth and the growling says otherwise. So
he said stick him. He was trying to make him hurt you, and at that point, I'd be like, "This vet bill's on you, asshole."
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, if somebody says that and you're not like on your property and they're trying to chase you off their property, like that's at least some form of attempted assault.
Oh, that's definitely assault.
This was
100%.
We both lived in the same complex. They lived in a different building than I did. But we still lived in the same complex, and they were like, this was, I don't remember why this person hated me, but they did. So
sounds like it. Jesus Christ. Yeah. I've never sicked an animal to anybody in the years I've had them. Never, not once.
Yeah,
I've had dogs come to my rescue before, but I've never been like, sick balls, Cujo.
I mean, yeah, it was very similar to that sequence from Stand By Me, sick balls, but it wasn't quite that, It was a little dog. It was one of the dachshunds that was like a long hair with the Doberman colors, the black and tan.
A little classic wiener dog.
Yeah, but long hair, a long-haired wiener dog.
Oh, one of those guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, here's the thing: dachshunds are cute, and when they're nice, they're adorable.
They are ill-tempered.
They're absolutely adorable when you have one that likes you.
Yeah, they're cute as shit, but they are.
But if they don't like you. Yeah.
Oh, don't! It's no, like pit bulls are big, but dachshunds are actually fucking dachshunds and chows.
Every pit bull I've ever known has been like they don't have a volume control, so it's either all or nothing as far as the barking goes. But they've been like total sweethearts. Like they just want to be loved and petted, and and maybe a slice of cheese.
Yes.
I'm serious. That's
all. Isn't that all any guy wants?
I mean,
be loved and petted and maybe a slice of cheese.
Hey, all it takes to keep me happy. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, a slice of sharp cheddar. Yeah. I mean, I literally have to pay the cheese tax if I'm making food in the kitchen.
Of course.
Yeah, because he's like, it's for me, right? That's for me, right? That's for me.
I'm lucky with the fact my older cat doesn't beg, but I have a feeling this new one's gonna be a little shit about it. Like, he absolutely begs. He also likes salmon, though. So that makes me like him. Because I love salmon.
Oh, yeah, salmon.
We bonded over the love of salmon.
We did. I made a sashimi for him and for me. We ate it together. It was great.
There you go.
And Brandon's like, I was a dog in a previous life, and I loved salmon.
Actually, all my coworkers think I eat like a cat, which is...
That makes more sense, honestly.
Not unfair.
Yeah.
That fits you better.
Yeah, I can see that.
I was like, eat a lot of fish, a lot of raw fish.
And you're constantly clawing our furniture.
Yes, I got a nugget territory as my own somehow,
So, do we want to talk about some primary election results here?
I would love to talk about that because I have not actually reviewed this yet. So,
right on.
The first one, of course, I want to ask about is Prop 1.
I know nothing about a lot of this stuff. I'm just going to go by what you guys are saying.
So Prop 1 is the City of Seattle Prop 1, the property tax for democracy vouchers?
Yes.
Did it have a threshold? Was it just a straight up and down vote, or did it have a 60% threshold it needed to hit?
I'm not exactly sure. That's when I follow up on it. I have not been keeping too close tabs on this one because, I know this sounds lazy, but I always, Seattle tends to do the right thing. Washington tends to do the right thing, so I don't anally watch what we do because we tend to be on the right side. Not all the time, but mostly. Well, we're not like Austin or like one of the like somewhere in Texas where I'm like actually watching it because I know something fucked up's about to happen.
So what I want to know is, did it
pass? Because I think it's a great fucking idea. I didn't know
So
about
I
it for a
can-
long time. I went to a Seafair parade, and that was the first time I talked to somebody about it. And I was like, "This is a great fucking idea."
Yeah, democracy vouchers. That's what That's what they've been doing in Seattle for a couple of cycles now, and it's a great way to do it. I mean, Washington State's election system is the envy of the country, I think, and
yes,
and Seattle and their democracy vouchers is a great way to go for funding elections. So you weren't here last week. I don't know if you listened to the episode, but we did an election preview last week.
Yeah.
But this was not an item that we covered, so I don't know if it's required a 60% vote or not. Because, and the reason I bring this up is well, where did my tab go? It hit 58%, 58.6%.
Oh, I
So,
hope it passes.
I'm assuming that's a pass.
I mean, majority. It still makes me happy that it's a majority. Like if it was down at 45%, like a loss, I would be concerned for the state. The fact that we're for this.
And so, go ahead.
I was say, oh no, keep going. No, I want to hear what you say. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just gonna say. So just to kind of elaborate on what Prop 1 does, it's a King County Proposition 1. Is this the right one? No, let's pulled up we want Seattle Prop 1.
Oh,
sorry about that. Yeah.
It's all good. Because I haven't been keeping up on this stuff.
Or
because
that was last November.
I'm thinking of the right Prop 1, right? You're talking about the same thing I am, so we have to be on the same page somewhere here.
We're talking about the one for democracy vouchers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but it's not. No, it's not.
So, just to clear this up, if the guy explained to me, democracy vouchers would basically be money that an average individual, it was like $25 or something, wasn't it? That they can put towards a political cause or candidate of their choice.
Right.
So basically, it takes power away from multi-million dollar, mega donors and corporations, because suddenly you toss a little bit of money to a whole bunch of people, and suddenly they can stand up against these people who have billions of dollars to blow on candidates and shit.
Yeah, it's a way of doing public financing of elections, and it seems to work pretty well. And yes, so it only needed a 50% majority, so it is initial vote counts. It is being approved.
Thank God. And I do agree with you when I say this. I do think that Washington has the best election system in the country. And I would say that's a really good point you said. Between the fact that we've done mail-in elections for how long now, and
for 20 years,
never had a fucking problem. Even the RCW, even the RCW thing that we do here, I think is great when it comes to how we perceive federal laws and execute them within our state.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, that's part of the reason why, we don't have to be big time activists in our state, because our state, we're somewhat insulated from a lot of the worst federal stuff right now.
Yeah.
But they're coming for us, the feds are coming for us. Seattle's a sanctuary city, and
I was actually just talking to somebody earlier today that a friend of mine said, "Hey, you should move down here meaning Texas, because everything's way cheaper and everything else, and you can get yourself a decent sized house for a lot less money and blah 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 blah." I was like, yeah, except for that I am not Republican and I would not be welcomed in a lot of places down there. Plus the local government also is out to get me too.
I mean, here's the thing. There are good parts of Texas, like Austin, where we all know comics who moved to Austin. They like it there. It's because Austin is very much like Seattle. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
You go outside of these areas, and you are correct. I was just in Fort Worth for about 2 weeks, a couple months ago, and fucking I hated it.
Yeah,
I've only been through Dallas, the airport, but just from the air, the whole place is just brown and dead looking.
Kind of like my yard.
Austin's dope as hell. Austin's super fun. If you ever have a chance to visit Austin for a weekend, do it. Of course, I hate. Huh?
All the great music out of Texas comes from Austin, it seems like. So, I mean.
Yeah. I mean, because it's
Yeah,
where the
I'd love to do
creative and
Austin
stuff.
City Limits or.
Yeah, Austin's fun as shit, but that's the only nice thing I'll say about Texas, like ever. Okay, never mind. Good barbecue, great barbecue.
Yeah. Mhm.
Amazing barbecue.
So
Problem is,
we got someone watching from YouTube. Hi Shannon, how you doing?
Hey,
Oh.
is that somebody you know?
Hello.
Yes, it's my
Nope.
friend Shannon. That's who I was just talking about. We were talking about how somebody else said I should move down to Texas. I said, I'm never gonna live in Texas. I'll visit for like a weekend, like Brandon says, but there's no way I'm ever gonna move to Texas.
I mean, the weather alone wouldn't agree with
Oh
me.
God, it's so hot. And well, maybe here's the nice part about Texas: if you don't like the weather, give it half an hour; it will change. I remember living there on the year I lived there, and it would be like 85 degrees out, and then suddenly the clouds would roll in. It'd be hailing, and then it would go right back to like sun. It's that Gulf Stream. It destroys the fucking weather.
And that
man,
was in DFW, or where was that?
I lived in a place called Arlington.
Okay, so where the Rangers live.
Yes, no wait, that's Arlington. I think it's a different. Is that different Arlington or is that Arlington, Texas?
Yeah, where the Texas Rangers play.
Arlington? Oh yeah, you're right. There. You know what's funny? When I
Sports
was
ball.
there, well, here's it is a kind of about sports. I used to be in karate, taekwondo in particular, and my sensei at the time was an ex-Texas Ranger, and he was like, one day I'm gonna have bring in my old Ranger buddies, and you're gonna meet him. You guys will be really excited. His old Ranger buddy was Chuck Norris.
what?
Really?
Yeah, I met Chuck Norris when I was younger, before he was a weirdo. I had no idea who the fuck he was. My parents were excited. I was like, "What the heck?"
I mean, my
fuck is
dad's
this
was.
guy?
I was raised on Chuck Norris because my dad
Yeah.
was a fan.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
everybody knows that Chuck Norris's tears will cure cancer. Too bad he doesn't cry.
Oh, he's a fucking weirdo, maggot weirdo. You know that
No,
now,
he is
right?
a-
Like,
he's a-
he is.
He is, yeah.
He's even worse. He's a straight up Christian nationalist. He is open
Oh.
about
Well,
it.
they're-
Too. Yeah.
That
They've all come out of the woodwork now. Like they've been totally emboldened. I mean, that's what we're up against right now. That's what Stephen Miller is implementing with his immigration purges. Like, it's not about criminals. It's about it's about just they see they've seen the projected demographics of this country of white people becoming a majority, right? They're becoming the largest minority, but still a minority.
They don't want to be a minority. That's the thing,
What?
And,
Are
they don't, and
afraid
they're
the
trying to
minorities are
stave
treated
that
poorly?
off.
right?
Right?
Are they
What's
afraid
wrong?
that-
What's wrong
yeah.
with being a
What's wrong with
minority?
minority?
Yeah.
Like, I
And
thought
they
you
would
guys
still
said
be the
minority was
largest
fine.
group. White people would still be the largest group, and we'd still be in a white hegemonic state here. But they feel like they have to intervene because the natural course of things, I guess, is going to go
Right.
in a way that they don't like. Like but they say that it's woke. It's because of woke that all this stuff is happening. That the world wouldn't change if it wasn't for woke people.
I love asking the people who say that to define woke and watch their eyes roll back into their head and their
Well-
words just vaporize.
But just the idea that liberal policies have allowed the world to change, like, and we have the right to go backwards now and make people more comfortable and happier with, like, bring them back to some former version of the world that never actually existed.
I mean, it existed on
but it is-
TV, but not in the real world.
Yeah, it exists in their stories and their memories that they've idealized over time, and most of the people are clamoring for a time that they weren't even alive for.
Right.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. When like my alternate great thing is ask them what year they mean.
Right. Which year
Well,
was it great? Was America
Yeah.
great?
What
Like,
what
pick a year.
era are you defining? Like, oh, 1950s. Oh, 1950s when like black folks couldn't drink at the same water fountains and shit. Like fucking back when.
Or when the highest marginal tax rate was like 93% for dollars over 2 million, like, or 3 million, like, and we had a high unionization rate, and we had a liberal Supreme Court and a liberal Congress. Like, yeah, let's go back to the 50s.
Yeah.
Let's just with some civil
Well,
rights.
Yeah, the only part they care about though is when black people have less power.
No,
That's
we
the only
just
part
meant
they
you
care
could have
about, yeah.
segregation. That's all we wanted was
Yeah,
racism.
exactly. Yep, that's all they mean. That's
But
what they actually
racism
mean.
was normal.
And it looks like Stephen rather. I'm sorry, Stephen. I'm still fucking it up. Stephen Ward is watching.
Just remember, it's
Oh.
Stephen.
Hey,
He
no
goes,
way.
he goes, hello, haven't seen the three of you in one place in 10 plus years. From stand-up
it's been a
comedy to
while.
political commentary.
Yeah, and we're technically not in
Pretty
one
much.
place right now.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, we're all kind
we
of
are
all
for
over the
him.
state.
We're all
That's
on the
true.
stream.
We're all on his
All
screen.
on
Yes.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Welcome to YouTube.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything all the time, even us.
Well,
Oh, God,
upvotes don't count.
I wish he would
What was
do
that?
more comedy.
Bo Burnham
Yeah, Bo
or
Burnham.
Stefan?
Well, both
Oh.
actually. To be perfectly honest, Bo Burnham hasn't done comedy since he did that special for during the pandemic, and I don't
You
know
know-
the
Yeah,
last time I
it's-
saw Stefan do any comedy. So
Yeah, he talked to us when he called in. He told us that it's been a while, but
It's been a minute.
he'll get on every now and then. Yeah.
so
So talking about election results, probably the biggest thing we did talk about in preview last week was the Seattle mayoral race. That's obviously a big one, and we talked about Katie Wilson, and we were all in for Katie Wilson. We were really curious to see how she would bear out. We talked about how Seattle does a top 2 primary, so it's not split by party. It's just open primary. Top 2 vote getters get to go to the general. And we were hoping, like, we were pretty sure Katie would be top 2. We were just curious how close would she keep it to the incumbent Bruce Harrell, and can, if I think I even mentioned, like, if she were to come out on top, like, that would be an amazing sign. Like, I'm not really expecting that. Our hope is that she keeps it close, and then all the other options coalesce around her, and that's enough to push her over the top. Well, if you haven't already seen the results for the primary, Katie Wilson got 50.1% of the primary vote.
And I
She
was
got-
thinking of those Kurmo situations where they're trying to fucking fight it. Is it like the establishment Dems aren't going to oppose this, right?
Well, we'll see, because, I mean, Bruce Harrell's he still came in second, so he's going to be in the race. So
I know,
assume
so that's my fear there, is that they're
Yeah,
gonna
no,
just throw the
establishment
weight up
Dems are
again.
definitely still going to... I expect them to go towards Harrell unless he... What we really need to see is, Joe Mallahan got 4.4% of the vote. Who's he going to endorse, if anybody? Clinton Bliss got 1.1%. But just the fact that she got 50.1% of the vote is a huge deal. Now, how many people vote in the primary versus how many people are going to vote in the general, is this going to be representative? But the fact that she actually got she got over 50% is such a positive sign. So we may have our own Zoran Mamdani situation brewing here in Seattle.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, that I know. At least it'll be good topic, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is they're just gonna train wreck her. They're gonna make it so that anything she does either doesn't get passed or gets totally underfunded or mishandled.
And
So it looks
that's
bad.
my fear. I'm like, are they going to railroad her? Because I feel like that's what's about to happen here.
But if she gets enough support, man, like, they're gonna have to go along with what she says. And she started the Writers Transit Union, and if she's organized and planned out right, like, she can get the pressure points at the right parts of the city to actually implement her agenda. And that's what has to happen in order for her to prove herself. Because otherwise, they're just gonna say, if she has a slip while she's walking on the sidewalk, they're gonna use that against her, right? Like, it's gonna be that kind of a.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Mamdani thing, like.
And then also in Seattle, last cycle, Ann Davison is a Republican that won city attorney. Well, in this primary, Ann Davison, as the incumbent, did come in second with 33.8% of the vote. But the progressive Erica Evans actually got 55.3% of the city attorney primary votes. So it looks like she will most likely go on to win the general election and will actually have a progressive city attorney again and get Ann Davis the F out of there.
I feel like Trump is making us more liberal, which is a good thing. But I do feel like Trump is pushing.
He's polarizing. I mean, yeah, that's what you get with polarization, right? Like,
don't be wrong; it's to be expected. We've always been one of the most left-leaning cities, so for us to make a stand like this is not surprising in the least.
And as left-leaning as we've been, like, I mean, we had Shishama Sawant on the city council for years and years and years, but she was still always used as a punching bag. Like, there's still a very corporate liberal control over Seattle, where we can't do everything quite as well as we would want to. right? Like you have Jenny Durgan was very much a corporate Democrat. Bruce Harrell is very much a corporate Democrat. Again, they're okay. Like I'm not one of those people that are like, oh, let's cut off the heads of the corporate Dems as well. I just want to outweigh them and have them realize that they don't have to go to public, or they can rely on public money and they don't have to rely on corporate money. Like, that's what I want. And, and just vote against. And as long as we have options like Katie Wilson, you see the people respond to it. So,
and that's a really good sign. So there might be a silver lining to all of this Trump shit if we actually manage to become a actually progressive city, not just a liberal one.
Right. And I mean, to the extent that, history rhymes, we are kind of going through a rhyming cycle with the last century where it's like you had the roaring 20s of deregulation, and then that ended up causing a Great Depression, and then you had a progressive resurgence and a progressive rebuilding of the country that lasted for, it lasted until really this year, the New Deal, essentially.
I would argue Bush.
Well, I would say Reagan is when it was. When it started. Reagan is when things started going the other way. But I'd say it wasn't until now with Project 2025 that they're really truly putting an end to the New Deal right now and starting a new era.
Yeah. I mean, I do agree that is a definite end to it, but I feel like it's all kind of. I mean, I guess I agree with you. I just feel like Bush Jr. was really.
Oh yeah, it's been in decline for 50 years or
maybe
40.
The accelerant that happened, like 9/11, made all of this very possible. I was actually talking to my younger coworkers, and I told them how different the world was pre 9/11. I'm like, I'm not saying America was good, but it wasn't on the shit show like straight downward spiral path that it is right now. Like there was hope at one point. Like we were at one point moving somewhat in the right direction.
I think
not at all now.
Wasn't it also like right around the time of W getting elected that Fox News became a new thing, and it made it so popular just because they were like, hey, no, he won, not the other guy, he won, saying that W won, and I was like, wait a minute, no, everything else pointed to the other guy, so why is it that station says that? Yeah, okay, that was kind of where I thought that there's something wrong with that news station.
Yeah, I got the Gore thing.
Yeah, when Gore was going up against W. Yeah.
No, don't be wrong. That wasn't a stolen election. People know what a stolen election was. That was a stolen fucking election. Al Gore absolutely fucking won that election.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, there was no doubt about it. They cheated for that.
No, and somehow they managed to steal every election when the Supreme Court would be at stake in that presidential term. 2000 and 2016 both had absolute shenanigans going on, and somehow the GOP held the court when they shouldn't have.
Oh, even the number of times that they stopped a fucking Democrat from even electing or like choosing a Supreme Court justice. They made it clear that they do not think that we should ever be allowed to pick a Supreme Court justice.
Well, that's because when you look at when we had a liberal SCOTUS, I mean, what happened? All the things happened that they're trying to undo now, like all the cultural changes that they want to undo. Interracial marriage, we got that because of a liberal SCOTUS. Integration of schools, we got that because of a liberal SCOTUS. The Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act, those both held up for decades because of a liberal SCOTUS. Roe v. Wade came at the end of a liberal SCOTUS era where we actually, from what history tells us, we thought it was going to be a more conservative court, ended up being a fairly liberal court in the 70s. Until it all switched at the end of the Nixon era. And they don't, and in order to implement this project that they've been on, they've had to stack the court with Federalist Society judges, and that's what we have now.
A shit show.
I have I'm going to do a whole history on that here for a main topic one of these weeks.
Sounds like a Patreon thing.
Yeah, maybe so.
We'll have because we have the Patreon set up. At least I have it set up, and I've invited both of them to be able to make posts and stuff. But as of right now, everything that's on there is free. I did post one thing that requires a subscription, but it's just one of the one of the original live streams that we did, that all the live stream stuff, I put under unlisted, so maybe in the future all the original unedited episodes that were live, where you see me have a meltdown or technical difficulties that aren't cleaned up and fixed in post. So yeah, I will figure something else out as far as like other behind the scenes stuff maybe.
And then since we did preview it last week, I will hit the results of the couple of Kitsap County primary elections we were paying attention to. So if I can get that. Okay, so the big thing on the ballot for us in Kitsap County was the Kitsap County Rural Library District Prop 1, which was to lift the lid on the financing for the library. Because it was an extension of an existing levy, it only needed 50%, but it got over 60% anyway. So we actually passed it with 61.55% of the vote. So that's an awesome sign that our libraries will get a raise, and we can keep expanding them instead of cutting them back. And then the other election we were looking at was Legislative District State Senator number 26, or Legislative District 26 State Senator, which was the incumbent Democrat Deb Krishnandesan versus the Republican challenger Michelle Caldier. And on election night, it was super close. It was like 51-49. And right now, the totals have come out as the Democrat has emerged victorious at 52.2% of the vote to 47.8%. A bit closer than I expected. And that's a one-year unexpired term. And that, I don't even think that's a primary. That's literally the race. Yeah. And so with that, we can take it over to the news of the week. I don't know. Do we have a little ditty for that?
We do. Hold on.
You up, Diddy?
Ditty what? Ditty.
And now it's time for our weekly news. We're breaking down the key stories shaping our world, from policy shifts to the latest in global affairs. Let's dive in.
All right. I love that one. I haven't heard it in a while.
Yeah, I keep forgetting to have it, to play it and stuff. You know.
So one topic we've been following a bit on this show before you got here, Brandon, is the import deal with the tariffs and all that jazz, and how that affects the ports and whatnot. Well, we do have a story from King 5 here that imports have plunged at Seattle and Tacoma ports as tariffs take toll. So this is exactly what we've been warning about for months. We did an episode earlier in the year called The Trump That Stole Christmas, because his basically the 30-day pause on imports was already going to have a chain effect that meant we were going to see emptier shelves. But now we have a sharp drop in shipping volume. It threatens local businesses that rely on steady two-way trade.
Yeah.
So in Seattle, international imports through the ports of Seattle and Tacoma dropped by about a quarter, raising alarms among trade and business leaders about cascading impacts for Washington consumers and small businesses. For the week ending July 25th, the Northwest Seaport Alliance, which oversees both ports, reported a 25.9% year-over-year decline, down 24.5% from the previous week. Ryan Calkins, Alliance co-chair and Port of Seattle Commission president, said the sharp drop in shipping volume threatens local businesses that rely on steady two-way trade. Less traffic means fewer outbound shipping posts for Washington exporters, and retaliatory tariffs are squeezing already thin profit margins. The real moneymaker for shipping companies is all those containerized consumer good imports, the TVs and clothing and that kind of stuff that we import, Calkins said. When those are no longer moving, it's harder to export the agricultural goods that we specialize here in Washington. We also talked about that in the microdose, where the apple industry is being hurt by the fact that we can't export apples as well as we could last year.
Right. We haven't done one of those in a while. Maybe we should look into doing another one.
Yeah, maybe so. I just haven't had time to put together the script for it. Putting together the script for that was harder than I expected.
Yeah, I see that.
And so here's the rub here now. Calkins warned that tariffs will push prices up by as much as 20% for many goods. It's not paid by a Chinese company. It's paid by us. All of those goods now have a 20% increase in cost at the border, and that's getting passed on through the wholesaler to the retailer and eventually to the consumer. We're all going to feel that in our pocketbooks, according to Calkins. So Seattle's chief economist voiced similar concerns earlier this week, calling new tariffs from the Trump administration the city's most pressing economic threat. Interim director and chief economist Jan Duras, or Jan Duras, I'm not sure, projected a $143 million revenue shortfall, citing the city's duty alongside slowing sales tax growth, reduced demand for office space, and a construction slowdown. So Oxford economics data from June shows Canadian travel to the Seattle area is expected to fall from 18% to fall by 18% from 2024 to 25, which is the sharpest decline among international markets. Jan Duras said this week the international tourism could drop by as much as 27%. So it's fucking us over. Long story short.
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
What a shocker.
Right?
Dun, dun, dun.
So, and when this all started, it's like, the places that are going to get hit first and hardest are going to be like Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles. And you do wonder if Trump looks and goes, oh, that's more reason to do it.
Oh, no, absolutely. No doubt. There's literally no doubt. He's doing this because he wants to punish, people for not being with him and opposing him. Absolutely.
And then, so that's, I do want to get some more kind of, we'll get to some national news at the end here, but there is a new law that impacts breweries in the state of Washington.
Leave my beer alone.
No, I think you're going to like this. So this is I'm hearing a little bit of echo on myself. Is that anything concerning, Todd?
I'm not hearing anything. Are you, Brandon?
Nope, I hear echo.
Okay.
I'm not hearing it now. I don't know what that was. So you might like this change. It's going into effect because of the World Cup. And it's set to expire in 2027, but they're hoping to keep it past that. But what it is HB 1515, known to many as the Sip and Stroll Law, which allows cities to create larger public spaces for alcohol consumption, including beer gardens and closed-off streets. So we're actually going to be able to you can take your booze outside, basically. It'll be in designated areas, right? So you have to be this downtown, the alleyway behind Safeco Field or Quest Field.
Like a beer garden at a concert.
Exactly what I was thinking, a beer garden, yeah.
But this is going to be able to use city streets for it, too, as well. So you're going to be able to shut down an entire block and say, you can have your beverage out here.
I was at a reggae festival a little while ago, and you could have beer outside, all outside the venue. They did close out the whole street, but you could have beer out in the little beer garden area. They extended out into the main street. You couldn't take it out.
Right.
But it was a fairly large area into the main street that you could walk around and drink. And I did.
But yeah, the people are saying that they think it's good for small businesses in general. And they get to neighborhoods like Ballard could see expanded beer gardens and brewery collaborations during festivities. But and the business owners, again, are hoping to get it to last past 2027. So that could be a new fun way to enjoy Seattle with a beer. You can do a pub crawl where you can take your beer with you, as long as
what's weird is we're one of the few places where you can't do that. People from Germany or the UK come here and they're like, you can't walk around with a beer. You're like, no.
Right. No, only in certain places.
Yeah,
New Orleans, you can do it. Vegas, you can do it. But
they're like, you can't just go to this park and drink a beer. Nope.
That's public consumption of alcohol, buddy.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It is weird. It's wild to me that we have that law. It's a weird law when you think about it. Wait, why? Not public drunkenness, sure, but just having a beer in public? Weird.
That's
right?
Weird,
we're supposed to be responsible people here. Can we not act responsibly?
This is the land of the free? Really? I can't have a beer in the park. Cool. Weird. What?
The land of the free and the home of the fearful of alcohol.
Yeah, apparently so.
Yeah, well.
All right.
Well, the way things are going, we're gonna have or not probation, prohibition.
Prohibition.
Again, yeah.
Yeah.
I doubt they're gonna touch regular booze, but I do think they're going for weed next. I think they're gonna try to start undoing all the legal weed laws if they can.
I don't know. I think we're gonna get federally legal weed. I think it's gonna become too popular.
Right.
It's gonna be.
I mean,
Someone's gonna run on it to get elected, and
maybe, but the maggots are still way opposed
Trump
to it.
could
Look
do
at Texas.
it.
yeah.
Trump could do it as part of his Epstein distraction.
The
It could be coming in a week.
other thing is like a lot of states that have it legalized, they make a lot of money off of the taxing of weed marijuana sales.
I want to say we made almost $1 billion in taxes last year in Washington, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not getting rid of that
One
shit.
One of my favorite facts right now about one of my favorite facts about the marijuana industry right now is that like the corporate backed businesses are not making a profit and they're going under, but the locally owned small shops are thriving.
That makes me happy.
So that's right. Like, ain't that the way it's supposed to be?
Yeah,
Yes.
pretty much. I think anyhow.
All right. So this next story I pulled from an old week, but I don't believe we touched on it before. So, what do you guys know about rent caps, and what do you guys think about rent cap? It's always
I think it's a good
controversial
idea.
subject.
I think my only knowledge of it is when they mentioned that kind of thing in movies from like the 80s and the 70s about New York.
Like rent control.
Rent control, yeah.
I
It's
can't
a
move
great
out of my
idea.
apartment. Now I got rent control.
Yep, I think it's a good idea. They should not. Honestly, there should be a maximum rent. I doubt it goes far enough for me. To be frank with you, I doubt whatever bill this is, it goes far enough for me. I think rent should be fairly low, and it should be mandated as fairly low. Like, it should be fairly difficult for somebody to be a professional landlord. That should be pretty much impossible, in my mind.
Right. I mean, the argument against that is that, they're going to say, like, well, how else are we going to house people? You need to incentivize owning, developing land. And it's like, well, that's because we have a capitalist approach to it.
No, you fucking don't. You give people a house. You stop looking at houses as something that people need to make hundreds of thousands of dollars on as a basic fucking right. That's what you do there.
Doesn't the government already make a bunch of money off of like property taxes and stuff?
Yeah,
that money is all allocated to places, but yeah.
But I was thinking what they should do is what they do for Section 8, which is 30% of your income is what you pay.
Yeah, well, that's the issues, and then the capitalists would just say, well, if your they would just say if your income isn't so high, we won't rent to you. So it still doesn't fix the overall problem.
That would give us a lot more homeless people for sure. Yeah.
They need to make it so that like there's a standardized rate for rent on every given kind of housing unit, apartment, whatever, and it should de-incentivize large businesses from owning them, and should incentivize the regular Joe to own them. That should be the point.
Yeah. I was thinking the other day.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like,
it's
the rent-seeking behavior that's the problem.
Well,
yeah, the absolute idea that rent, that you should be able to own two houses and just sit in your main house and jack off all day and go out and collect rent from these two people once a month. And that's a living. I work hard. They don't do shit.
Right.
They're leeches. They're parasites.
Yeah.
I do not like landlords.
So what?
I'm with you.
So
I'm
what
not a
we end
fan.
up here, yeah. Like I work with a lot of landlords, and it's crazy the way that they think about things.
I
what
know.
the rest
I
of
know
the
a
world
couple
would
of them.
think.
They do not think like normal people. Oh my God, they do not.
They consider themselves heroes.
Oh, you're not wrong. There was a landlord I know one time, literally, he got this giant argument because he was like, you should tip your landlord.
Also, real quick, for those watching online right now, please share the live with your friends to get some more people watching us, because we have 3 people watching over on YouTube. Click the link down below,
Right on.
or share it with everybody. Let people know we're doing this, and we're doing a live call-in show. So if you want to call in and talk about anything we've talked about, the number's on the screen. Actually, here, let me turn this back on over here. The number is back on the
Yeah,
screen.
and like and subscribe, please.
Absolutely. I'll be right back. I'll be right back 1 second. I need another streaming beer.
Go for it. Yeah, I was. I mean, we have
No,
three people
so
watching. I'm sorry. Go
what we're
ahead.
doing here? No, I was gonna say, go ahead. Yeah, who we got watching? Who are our viewers?
You know, does it tell me who they are? I don't think it does. I think I'd have to actually go look at YouTube itself to see.
Well, say hi in the chat if you're watching, and we'll
Yeah.
give you a shout out.
We have.
Absolutely.
But what we got going with this is House Bill 1217, and it's the rent cap for 2026. And what we have here is the maximum allowable rent increase for 2026 is, and they're calling this a rent cap, 9.683%. So, and 2 amendments were added in the Senate, changing the cap from a flat 7% to a choice of whichever is lower, between a 7% raise with inflation or a flat 10%. So the Second Amendment exempts single-family homes, which represent approximately 38% of Washington renters.
Yeah, I mean, rent cap increase
So
is
10% is still like an insane raise.
it's like I said, it's not enough. It's just not enough. It doesn't do anything about the problem that we're already having, is the fact that rent is too goddamn high as it stands.
Yeah.
Right, like if you can raise rent 10% every year after year after year, you're raising it over time.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you're
they're
raising it
doing
that much
nothing
every year.
extra. You're doing nothing extra. You're just sitting there collecting more money. It's fucking landlord.
Yeah, I mean, my personal philosophy is anything that can be a cooperative should be a cooperative. Like if it can actually function that way. And apartment buildings, like there's got to be something where like you own your own unit, and you can get value when you sell it and move out. You know, it should be. You know, people need. The only way to really build value in your life is to own property of some sort.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
We got a new
Like for the average person.
We have a new comment saying much love in Cartoon Land. This is from Tammy Lynn. She's actually a big one of my VR friends.
Hi, Tammy. Right on. Well, thanks for listening, Tammy. Thanks for the comment. So yeah, we'd like to see that rent cap more at like 5% maximum, or really some sort of language that says you can't increase rent without showing a appreciable like increase in value for the you have to do an improvement if you want to charge rent.
Even then, like it just doesn't go far. Like we need to bring rent down. Like this is all good ideas, like to make it not any worse. But
Housing is a right.
housing is a right.
This
and
is
the
part of
fact that
one of our.
I
go ahead.
I have a 1-bedroom apartment. I pay $1,600 a month out here in Kent for a 1-bedroom apartment. That's fucking nuts.
Well, and the way rents have skyrocketed just in the last 10 years is insane.
Oh yeah,
like in 2010, your apartment was probably being rented for like $800.
Yeah. They've doubled the price in rent around here. It's insane. Kent's not a huge city. It should not be insane rent here, but this is a good deal actually compared to most other places. This is pretty damn good.
And it's for a
and
studio?
that's why Mom Donnie and for a 1-bedroom, he said, I think.
Oh, 1 bedroom.
Yeah.
I thought you said studio. Okay, yeah, 1 bedroom.
No, 1
that's
bedroom.
it.
Yeah.
But this is why Mom Donnie and Kenny Wilson are winning in their respective cities is affordability. Their biggest issues are affordability. Life has gotten unaffordable.
I just spent $100 in groceries today that I didn't really have. Well, I did buy some nicer stuff. I bought a good size Hawaiian pork roast that I'm gonna make here.
Speaking of food, one of the other stories I nailed on here was Raising Cane's has a new store opening in Burlington, and apparently they have Raising Cane's. There's one in Seattle, in the U District, in Covington, in Silverdale, and in Linwood. Have you guys ever eaten at Raising Cane's?
No, I don't think I have.
I just got a message, a comment about the rent. It says rent has been absolutely ridiculous. In Arizona, we started 10 years ago at $850, and now it's $1,250 in the ghetto for a 2-bedroom.
Yeah, it's.
And who said that?
And that was from Tammy.
It
Tammy,
should not be
thank
this
you,
much.
Tammy.
Like, honestly, rent should be like 350. Like, it should be barely above what it takes to maintain whatever, and that's it. That should legally be it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if we had public hospitals and things like that again, where like people with mental illness actually had a place that they could stay and receive treatment and not have to be out on the streets, like every time we close a public thing, it's like they want to talk about how bad it was, but it only makes things worse.
Oh, you're like little Trump's little "I want to get rid of the homeless in D.C." thing you did the other day. Or was that today?
Oh, what did he do now? He just want everyone tell him to all
Oh,
leave.
he put out this tweet about how he's telling all homeless people to get the fuck out of the Capitol. He's like, well, you guys, I'm giving you one warning right now. You guys better pack up and leave. Like, we're going to have a place for you guys soon enough, but you need to be out of the Capitol. I'm going to make the Capitol beautiful again. Da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, God.
Let's arm the homeless.
You know, that's not a terrible idea.
We just gotta
They'll get what they need one way or another.
We just gotta make them a well-regulated militia.
It's like, what are you gonna do?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like if we're gonna run to the extreme of the right shall not be infringed, well, poverty is infringing on their right to keep and bear arms. Therefore, the government should have to buy everybody a gun.
Tammy says it's why the family is coming back together under one roof, and Cane's is amazeballs in Arizona.
So Cane's is a chicken place, right?
I guess.
Yeah, and my concern is it like Chick-fil-A? Is it any kind of religious affiliation, or can I eat there?
I know.
Is it like anti-hope? Is it homophobic or anything? Or
I don't know. I've heard a lot about their sauce. That's all I know.
What I know is when I used to do like DoorDash, their food smelled amazing, but I'm never buying their food.
Oh, Chick-fil-A? Yeah, the same. Honestly, it's a pickle brine chicken. You can make it yourself. It's not that hard.
Yeah. I actually have the top secret recipes book that tells you how to make all kinds of like.
I used to have all of those. There used to be a book series called Top Secret Recipes.
Yeah.
And there was like 8 of them, and I owned every single one of them.
I have the first one on a PDF file on my phone.
Speaking of PDF files, Trump. I'm just kidding.
Ha!
Release the Epstein.
Yeah. Oh man.
Okay, so Raising Cane's is not generally considered a politically active company. They do not report any lobbying activity.
Good. All right,
so
if
that's
you're
cool.
got
Okay.
nothing good to say, then shut up, you know? I'm sure they're very capitalist, but as long as they aren't being a dick about it, you know, fine, cool. I gotta live with that.
As long as they aren't like actively contributing to like homophobic or bigot causes. Like that's cool.
It's like just shut up and make your money. I guess I can live with that, you know?
Yeah.
All right, now let's get to some national news. The EPA doubles down on decision to overturn scientific findings.
What?
They're just going to overturn a scientific finding
Wait,
because it
what?
doesn't align with their agenda.
Wait, what? No, I'm trying to wrap my head around that statement, and I'm... Ow. Okay. EPA doubles down on...
So this comes from Yahoo News. The recently appointed EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin, a name you may have heard before, appeared on CNN's State of the Union on Sunday to justify a recent EPA attempt to repeal a scientific finding, one which enables the agency to regulate harmful emissions under the Clean Air Act. So on July 29th, the EPA issued a press release about a proposal announced during Zeldin's visit to a car dealership in Indianapolis. It disclosed plans to, quote, revoke the 2009 endangerment finding, citing a non-existent electric vehicle mandate as policy enabled by it. So what the endangerment finding is, it refers to a December 2009 acknowledgement by the then administrator of the EPA, is that it's as a prerequisite that enables the agency to regulate harmful emissions. So it recognized that, quote, current and projected concentrations of the 6 key well-mixed greenhouse gases threaten the public health and welfare of current and future generations, end quote, and that vehicle emissions, quote, contribute to the greenhouse gas pollution that threatens public health, unquote. So the adoption of the endangerment finding followed a 2007 Supreme Court ruling, which was Massachusetts versus EPA, identifying greenhouse gases as a form of pollution subject to regulation under the Clean Air Act. In the proposal, agency made no attempt to couch the decision in terms of science. Rather, it asserted that many have stated that the American people and auto manufacturing have suffered from significant uncertainties and massive costs since the EPA recognized greenhouse gas pollution. So while the health threat of this pollution also includes common sense that people should avoid breathing in this pollution directly, and thus is not a positive toward the quality of the air at large, the endangerment finding itself focuses more on the gas's contributions towards the increasing average temperatures. So they're getting rid of this endangerment finding so that they don't have to regulate greenhouse gases anymore.
Oh, joy.
This is literally just them redefining the world to meet their own version of it.
Have you ever seen that movie Don't Look Up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie is on. It's on Netflix. It's a Netflix original. It's probably my favorite Leo DiCaprio movie.
I actually haven't seen it, but I heard about the storyline behind it, and it's kind of this is kind of creepy.
Honestly, you should absolutely watch it because it came out right at the end or right at the beginning of the pandemic, and it had nothing to do with a pandemic of any kind, but it lines up with how the government's been dealing with a lot of things. Like, that didn't happen. That's not what's going on here. I don't know what you're talking about.
This right here is a perfect example. Like, oh, this could kill us all. No, it won't. Wait.
It's like, and
What?
I don't want to give away the story because I want you guys to actually watch it, but it's definitely worth watching. There is a line that Leo does. He's like, he's fucking lying to you. You know, he has a full-on meltdown on national television. It is really good, and there is a post-credit scene, so you should watch it all the way to the end. But yeah, it's definitely worth watching.
All right, I got to step away for 1 second, guys.
Okay.
Go ahead and,
So, I saw this thing today, and I wanted to share it at some point during the show. 10 Supermen that are better than Dean Cain.
Everyone.
Well, and the first 3 are like the last. It's Christopher Reeve, David Cornsweet, the new guy, and Tyler Hoechlin, who played Superman in the CW version. And then it goes on. And then it goes on to like Super Grover, that terrible CGI Nick Cage in The Flash, a rat with a red napkin tied around its neck, a cardboard standee at a Blockbuster circa 1993, a half-chewed Superman doll in a bark box, a Roomba
First
with
off, I feel like they're sleeping on Henry Cavill. Like, Henry Cavill was not a bad Superman. He got shit scripts, but he was a great Superman.
I mean, I'm not saying that Henry Cavill is awful. I'm just saying that the other one I thought was better. But and then the last 2 are a Roomba with the Superman sticker on it, and then a Chihuahua with his tongue hanging out named Clark, are all better than Dean Cain as Superman.
Well, Dean's a piece of shit, so. All right, here's a story I wanted to cover.
yeah.
Hear about this FBI, the thing about the Texas lawmakers who fled to Illinois to avoid the vote on the gerrymander?
Yeah, we covered them. We covered their flee last week.
Okay. As of today, well, let's cover the story how it started. Trump was going to say they were going to stick the FBI on them, go into Illinois, arrest them, and bring them back to Texas. The former Attorney General, Eric Holder, who many of us remember with not so fondly.
Did you say Hodor?
Yeah, I know. Eric Holder. Even he says
Hodor.
that there is no way to do this. And this is something that I knew from the beginning. This is a civil warrant. They can't go into another state against the governor's wishes and extradite them into Texas.
Yeah.
That would be stepping on stage rights. So we know now for sure that that's not going to happen. So my next thing to be here is how the Republicans are going to respond to this.
My roommate was actually talking to me about this earlier. He's like, "Yeah, we're probably going to talk about this on the podcast tonight if you want to tune in." He's like, "All right." So I don't know. I don't think Chris is watching right now.
I mean, here's the weird part. Is Kash Patel says he wants to help the Republicans on this, and so does Greg Abbott. But the thing is, like, you're going against J.B. Pritzker, and the entire of the state. So I don't think it's ever going to happen. I think this is a lot of theatrics from the right. They're going to act like they can do this, but I don't think there's any way to actually execute this. Or if they try to do it, how ugly that would get just immediately.
And I noticed that Abbott says that the FBI is tracking down the Democrats. He
Yeah,
says Texas
I'm sure that
DPS
means that,
and the FBI are tracking them. But what exactly does that mean?
yeah, I'm sure that means they know where they're staying, but that doesn't mean they can actually do anything.
It means they're using Find
Well, yeah,
My Friend.
evidently somebody found out.
Oh yeah, you heard about the
Evidently
threats?
somebody found out where they were staying what was it, the Illinois group, or was it a different? Because they're in a couple different states.
They were in Illinois right now, and the bomb threats is what you're talking about.
Yeah, they had to move hotels because of a bomb threat.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like you know that all of Trump's little cronies and henchmen are involved in this, and I'm sure the FBI is tracking them. You know, and it is an intimidation tactic. Thing is, here I'm just torn on Pritzker. Han loves JB Pritzker. Thinks he's great. Don't be wrong.
He's been bringing it this year.
Yeah, the thing, you know what? I can't get down with him is he's still a billionaire, and I told her that. I'm like, billionaires, you know.
If
I didn't know
can't-
that he was a billionaire, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's his like a generational billionaire.
the only
That makes a lot of sense.
the only billionaire that I actually kind of like, if I was to say I liked one, would be Bill Gates, because he gives so much back to the community. So
I like the two billionaires I like are Matt Stern and Trey Parker.
you know what? Yeah, those guys, now that they're billionaires, they are definitely at the top of the list, man. Did you guys watch episode 2 yet?
I haven't seen it yet, but here's the thing I'll say about those two. They didn't use people. This is literally a fucking empire that they built. And not like most billionaires, they find a bunch of poor workers to exploit and build their
Right.
fucking, life. These guys created a bunch of shit that resulted them in being billionaires. They have South Park, they have fucking the Book of Mormon,
Yeah.
they have all these other they've done. They've actually created their own wealth. They're actually literal self-made billionaires.
Yes.
I kind of want them to do a sequel to Team America, but have it animated instead of puppets.
They said they will never do that again, a puppet movie again. They
Yeah,
said
no,
that
I
was
said they
sort of
would never do a puppet
traumatizing.
movie, but I think if they were to do a sequel to that and do it in the style of South Park, it would do it just as well. I
No,
think.
it would. It'd be terrible. No, they would
No.
if they did a second Team America, they would have to do puppets. They'd
No,
have
they
to do
wouldn't.
puppets.
They wouldn't have to
Yes,
do
they
puppets.
would.
I think if they were to do a second one, it would have to be. It would probably be like. I think it would have to be a different animation style than South Park.
Yeah,
it would have to
absolutely.
be something where like they
I mean, I'm-
3D, like a CGI version.
You
of
might be able to pull
marionettes or
CGI,
something,
but even
which I
then,
don't think they would do.
It's known as the puppet movie, and that's why they'll never do it. I think they even know if they did it, they would have to
And
use
the
puppets
only
again,
reason why
and
I
they
say
never want to do
the
that.
only reason why I say they just do it in South Park animation is because they already have the setup to do that.
But
they don't have-
but still, not gonna lie, I would hate that. I would call that lazy and uninspired and stupid.
I
would.
I-
I'd be like, come
I-
on, man! Like
I mean,
you're not
it-
even gonna be original with
it
it.
would
You're
give-
gonna go from puppets to like literally like something that you guys do every week. That's I'm not gonna lie. That's creatively super
That's
fucking
fine.
lazy.
I still think it would be hilarious, and not everyone's
Yeah,
not everyone is like a hardcore, like, you can't do that. It's not right. It's not the same as
It's
the
not,
last
it's not,
one.
it's not that it's not right. It's the fact it's literally the laziest thing they could do.
How is
I
it
can't think of
lazy
anything-
when they can crank
it's
out an
super
episode in
lazy.
6 days?
It's because it's lazy. That's exactly why it's lazy. They went from one of the hardest working things in the world that they ever did to like literally something they could put out in 6
why
days.
is making something smarter lazy?
That's not smarter. That's just lazy.
It is smarter because they're not doing
no,
the same
it's-
thing twice. They're
But
not,
it's
they're-
because it's pre-existing. That's something that they're already doing. There's no creativity in that. That's literally grabbing a handful of
Hey!
something they do every week.
Are you gonna
and
let me
going,
respond?
You were saying something.
I was trying to, but you would not shut the fuck up. Seriously, dude. God. I understand you don't want them to do that because it disrespects the original. Who fucking cares? If it's something new, using existing technologies they have access to, it's smarter to do it that way because then they don't have to fucking spend money on shit that they don't want to do.
And that's exactly what makes it lazy.
That doesn't make it lazy. It makes it smart.
No,
It does.
Well, I don't think they're gonna do anything with.
They're not. They are
I would
never going to touch
absolutely
it
love
for
to
that
see-
reason. And they've acknowledged the fact that if they did another one, they'd have to do puppets again
If
They-
no-
because that's what Team America was. It was the puppet movie.
I mean, it was
Like,
more.
you're taking away
it was
the
more. It was
fundamental-
more than a
Let-
puppet movie.
Let Todd finish.
Okay.
It was
Let me-
more.
would-
God damn it! Shut the fuck up! I'm not. You know what? I'm this fucking close to ending this right fucking now. Seriously, dude, give me an opportunity to fucking respond to you.
Okay, relax. Man.
Jesus fucking Christ!
I was just trying to finish my thought. That's all.
I mean, except for every time you go on for 5 minutes, and
I was
I'm
just
very ADHD, Brandon. And if I want to say something, I have to fucking interject, and then you talk over me. That is not okay. I will forget what I'm saying if I get interrupted multiple times. And I will give up trying to say what I'm trying to say because I don't remember what I was trying to say. And I have all of the control here. So if we want to continue doing this, say what you're going to say. Do not yammer on about it. Do
I was
not
trying to finish-
continually interrupt me when I try to respond to something you said.
What if I'm in the middle of a thought already?
I will say there was Todd was trying to get a thought in, and
If
there
you
was
see
kind
me,
of a.
if you see me trying to say something, that is a cue to stop talking and let me say something, and then when I'm done, I will let you talk. That's how conversations work.
People
Sorry.
let people finish their thought first.
That would be great, Brandon. Allowing someone to finish a thought or even to start a thought would be great too. You know.
Well, we can listen to this back later and kind of get a feel for there was a little bit of a.
I think it went both ways.
I mean, yeah, Todd has his this is Todd. This is Todd.
Fair enough.
But there definitely was the flow of the conversation was kind of like, it felt like every time it was Todd's turn to speak, it kind of came up. Like, as soon as he started going, there was kind of like
Not bad.
reiterating your point over the top of him.
An interruption trying to dominate the conversation. Like, you didn't agree with what I was saying. That's fine. You can disagree all you want. But allow me to finish my fucking thought before you interrupt me again.
I'm sorry for doing that then, if that was what I was doing.
I appreciate that. And I'm sorry for getting so fucking intense.
It's
but
okay, man. I get mad too. It's all good. Don't apologize.
You know.
I have a temper as well.
Well, apologizing is fine, but I mean, Todd overblows it always too. I don't want to say
fine.
overblows it, but
No, it's fine.
He has a right. I understand why he's mad. I also
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not. It's good. I got you.
all right. Doug, what were we talking about before my meltdown happened?
I think we were ready to go into the geek section. I think we
All
were because you guys started arguing over a movie that's never going to exist.
I know, exactly. It's literal.
Just a reminder. if you're enjoying the
I hit the wrong button.
It's all good.
Damn it.
Welcome to What's Cheap this week. We're going over the coolest in pop culture tech and nerdy news. Let's dive in.
All right, so I grabbed a few stories. I think somebody else grabbed a couple stories too. Let's see here. It looks as though Hulu is going to be absorbed by the Disney Plus collective, to put it in Star Trek terms. They are basically doing away with Hulu, and everything that was on Hulu will now just be part of Disney Plus. And this is what the article from Collider says. It wasn't long ago that Disney announced it plans to merge Disney Plus with Hulu. And now that day has finally come. Hulu will fully be integrated into Disney Plus, merging libraries from both streaming platforms months after Walt Disney Company got full ownership of Hulu. According to the latest report, this unified app will launch in 2026. The users can still grab a standalone Hulu subscription if they don't want to pay for Disney's content, and vice versa. Once the fully integrated Disney Plus is ready for release, the OG Hulu app will officially shut down. Walt Disney CEO Bob Iger and CFO Hugh Johnson commented on the latest news during an earnings call, expressing excitement about the merger and boasting about an improved consumer experience, as everything will be in one platform. Now, I already have whatever they call it, the bundle, when you got both, and it's all on one app. I don't have to have separate apps to access both things. So I go in, I can watch Letterkenny, and I can watch fucking Mickey Mouse's whatever, but or all Star Wars stuff and Marvel stuff. But I don't know. I don't have a problem with this. I know there's probably going to be people out there who don't like Disney Plus and don't want Disney Plus. But if it sounds like you'll have opportunities to have a Hulu subscription and only have access to Hulu side of the app. So
I don't want Disney Plus though. That's that. Then that's gonna be like $30.
No, it's actually right now for both with no advertising, it's $20.
I guess that's not too much worse than what I pay for Hulu. Damn it.
And right,
I don't even know what we pay for it because we get it as part of like our some other package. Is like we've got like
your mobile account or something, or maybe Comcast.
Yeah, and it gives us like Disney, Hulu, and ESPN Plus or something like that.
Yeah, that's the bigger bundle. But yeah, no, the one I have is the one with ads, and that's like $9 something for both.
I can't do them with ads. I don't get the fucking point. What am I paying for? If I'm watching ads, who the fuck am I paying for? To watch more goddamn ads? They're paying them too.
Yeah. I don't understand, but I think it's just a way for them to make money, and also
absolutely,
and a way for people to be able to see things without spending a shit ton of money on like all the. I mean, if they're gonna have,
that's a fair enough take on it. That's a fair take on it.
If they're gonna have different tiers for like Hulu only or Disney Plus only or everything under the umbrella of Disney Plus, and Brandon, remind me when we're not recording to tell you how I go about watching things without the ads, and I'll tell you how to do that.
Just now Disney's merged with Walmart, and they can just become the super mega
by and large.
By and large.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's complete the idiocracy cycle.
As long as I can get one of those hover chairs, I'm cool.
Right.
Yeah, like I watched Wall-E. I thought those fat people on the cruise were living a pretty good life.
Man, yeah, man.
They seem happy, right? Like they seem completely content. Like
it's everybody living on a space version of the Love Boat. The only difference is everyone looks like Jabba the Hutt, but
Oh, god damn it. No Chewbacca,
yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, the next story I have here is Ewan McGregor's is rumored to be a part of season 2 of Ahsoka. Although it also says it's confirmed, but I don't think that's really a confirmation.
Oh, but I mean, I'm sure it's probably gonna happen. They've had fucking Christian, whatever fucking dude name on it already, so fucking yeah, they're gonna.
Yeah, no, yeah, they had Kristen Haydenson on season 1 as
yeah,
Vader.
they're gonna have fucking everybody in that show at least cameo. If they're alive, they're coming on that show.
Yeah, I mean,
here's the funny thing: I haven't seen any Star Wars shows in years. I think I watched season 1 of The Mandalorian, and that was the last season of anything I saw because they haven't had Disney Plus since then. So I haven't seen Andor. I haven't seen fucking.
Again, remind me when we're not recording, and I'll show you how to watch those things.
I
still have to watch Andor. Like I owe it to my friend. I keep telling him that we're gonna get together to.
I really tried.
I keep falling asleep during it.
I do too. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Oh my god, I was like, I'm a horrible Star Wars fan. I keep falling asleep to Andor, and I realized
it's a different type of show, is what I heard. Right?
From what I'm hearing people say is it's a themed Star Wars themed espionage show. So it's like spy.
Yeah.
It's like watching James Bond but having droids and shit. So I was
It's a
like,
thriller. It's
yeah,
not an action movie.
It's not an action film, so there's a lot of boring dialogue. Oh my
Yeah,
god!
yeah.
And
It's
the
a slow burn thriller,
and
is what I
ca-
heard. Is
and-
what it
and
is.
characters I don't give two shits about. But yeah, so there's rumors of Ewan McGregor making an appearance. I don't know if it. This is what the Screen Rant says. Reports are circulating that claiming that Ewan McGregor just revealed he's in Ahsoka season 2, but all may not be what it seems. Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen reunited in Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series, and they've made it clear they'd love to work together again. New reports.
I didn't even know they were doing that. What?
Oh,
really?
they were on the Obi-Wan show together. I mean, and
That already happened. Yeah.
Yeah,
that already happened.
that was a couple.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yep. Yeah.
That's
Again,
Oh my God.
remind me after we're done recording. I'll tell you how to find all that stuff. Anyways, new reports from Fan Expo Boston claim that Ewan McGregor just confirmed he's returning in Ahsoka season 2. According to Nexus Point News, he accidentally revealed saying, quote, "We begin shooting season 2 of Ahsoka soon. Wait, was I supposed to say that?" And then said nothing else.
that sounds really. That sounds a little on the nose, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a little bit of a. He's having some fun. He's allowed to reveal that, but he was
Oh,
doing
okay. I was like, if that was an actual accident, that's kind of.
Yeah, he was probably told it's okay to say this and nothing else. You can tease that, you're going to be filming or whatever. So,
Because why not?
right? And I think if nothing else, we're going to see him show up and he'll be in one scene, or it'll be a phone call or digital transmission of some sort.
That's what I was thinking. Exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, he's gonna be like a phone, like you can see his face on the screen. And
We'll have a
talk for
hologram of
minute.
Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi, doing his best Alec Guinness impression. All right, so the next story I have here is...
You better open with hello there. That's all I know.
Right? Hello there. I want the first two words from Grogu to be hello there, in a high-pitched voice.
He just does the hello, my baby, hello, my baby. Doing the whole frog dance.
Oh my god, the Michigan J Frog, yeah. After 6 years, Star Wars could finally fix the sequel trilogy.
So I added this one, yeah.
Okay.
Undo them? I'm just
You know what? Fuck you. I like those movies. I think I'm probably one of the very few OG fans that actually do enjoy the new movies. I do. Absolutely. And I like them for the reasons why people piss and moan about them. I thought the Force Awakens was magnificent because it reminded me of the original movie. I don't care that it's a shot-by-shot recreation or whatever that asshole was saying. Anyways, back to the article here. Meanwhile, back at the podcast, it's been over a decade since the Star Wars saga arose again with a sequel trilogy, and in an era that began with a promise that ultimately tore the franchise and its fandom into two. To call the sequel divisive feels like an understatement of understatements. While most can agree that J.J. Abrams' first contribution to the franchise was largely harmless nostalgia, consensus is still split on the entry that brought fresh ideas. Last Jedi, like it or hate it, whatever potential the film carried was snuffed out by the immediate follow-up, The Rise of Skywalker, which was nearly the nail in the coffin for the entire franchise. I don't understand that statement because that is absolutely my favorite Star Wars movie. Out of all 9 movies, it is my favorite. I can go on about that later if you guys want. All told, the sequel era is most fans would rather forget about, as Brandon was saying. But if Star Wars wants to survive, it needs to move forward. Lucasfilm efforts to expand the other parts of the timeline, like setting the Mandoverse just after the original trilogy, have gone a long way in rebuilding some goodwill among the audiences. But we can't ignore the sequels forever. That's why the saga's next batch of stories won't just continue the story of Rey Skywalker, played by Daisy Ridley. They will double down on the sequel's best ideas. Fucking A, dude, about time. The Star Wars saga is working on returned to the big screen, and Lucasfilm is betting big on the sequel era in the process with Sean Levy's Star Wars Starfighter, Sharmeen Obed Chinchoy yet untitled Rey film, and a new trilogy helmed by Rebels co-creator Simon Kinberg. Oh my God, that would be amazing. Rebels has been by far my favorite series since Disney bought Lucasfilm.
I don't think you've seen that yet. I was very impressed by the first season of The Mandalorian. Honestly, the Werner Herzog's little spiel during that one episode, like that to me, that was one of the best writing I think I've seen in Star Wars in a long fucking time.
So season 2 for Mandalorian, I really loved it. It was a lot of little Easter egg things in there for old school fans. And then we got to see some live action characters that have never been live action before.
And they did it so well.
And they did it amazing. And to the point where she got her own spin-off series, Ahsoka.
Yeah.
And then we had a really cool cameo at the very end, which I found out much, much later was not only was a deep fake of a younger version of the actor, but the voice was actually also.
Oh, I know what you're talking. I know who you're talking about.
Okay. I didn't want to ruin anything. So yes.
Luke, right?
And let me tell you, if you've not seen any of the reaction videos of that episode, do go watch one, because I had the same experience that those people did. I'm sitting watching.
I heard about that from some of the tech groups I'm in, because they were all talking about how good the deepfake was. They were like, "This is actually kind of creepy." From a.
Well, I mean, it really wasn't. I mean, it was good, but
for the time,
it wasn't as good as some people that redid that scene.
There was a fan that redid it, right?
And
that's what I saw.
And that guy got hired by Lucasfilm to do more.
Yeah. Because he was like, look how much better I can do it, and I'm just this guy.
Maybe that's what they were talking about then, because everyone was just talking about the fucking deepfake shit and all that stuff.
In that final, like, 15 minutes of the season 2 finale, we see a single X-Wing pull in, and it's like, that can't be. Oh my God, is it? And everybody in that video is like, that can't be him. It can't be him. I mean, he's like 65 years old. There's no way it's him.
No. I know that they got rid of officially in Star Wars, right? Most of the expanded universe doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Is that
it became Legends.
Yeah, it became
Legends. That's it.
And what happened is they basically said that extended universe was never canon, because canon is everything on camera.
I hate that so much. I love the expanded universe stuff. Honestly, I'm a bigger Star Wars lore fan than I am. I actually haven't seen the 2 newest Star Wars movies.
No,
I refuse to.
That being said, they have used elements of Legends?
Oh, they have. No, that's the funny thing. They claim that it's not part of it, but that it was a general. What the fuck his name?
Well, they're gonna pick and choose what they bring in.
Yeah, they're grabbing the best bits, and the blue skin dude. Yeah.
Yeah. General Thrall. Something. Yeah, but next they need to bring in the Yuzhan Vong. They need to bring in the Yuzhan Vong.
Yeah.
Holy shit! They need to do that.
They got. I can't remember the actor's name. He is.
Have we seen anything in the shows about the Yuzhan Vong at all? No hints, nothing.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
Oh, it's late in the way late, when everybody's all the main characters' kids are growing up and all of that.
So
they face these things on the Yuzhan Vong that are hate technology, but it's this whole.
Is this from the Clone Wars, or is this just expanded universe?
This is all expanded universe stuff. Yeah. This is why I'm so mad they got rid of all of
expanded
this.
Universe is, and for those who are listening and who are like, these guys are nerding out, I don't understand.
It's a nerd show. Deal with it.
The expanded universe is essentially all the books that were written in the Star Wars universe, and none of them were created or done by Lucas.
But they were licensed, weren't they?
They were licensed. They got the license to do the stories, but George Lucas had no say in the storylines. He didn't give them any input.
You can tell that because they're well written.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of people say that his story writing was not great, but let's be honest, his ideas for Star Wars were borrowed from other things that were amazing.
He
And-
did no. The first 3 Star Wars where he wrote them, they were great. He
Yeah,
is.
no,
I love Lucas, but he has slipped like majorly. Like even in the prequels, the no.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
So when Lucasfilm was sold to Disney, I said, you know what? Everyone was like, oh my god, they're gonna ruin Star Wars. It's like, no, George already did that.
yeah. That's absolutely true.
George-
like
George-
he the whole like love story, that terrible dialogue in the prequels, that was all George too. That was all him.
And I recently posted a thing that said Disney has done better with Star Wars in the last 10 years than George did in the last 40 years.
They've done stuff with it is the thing.
No, they've done better with it. I mean, they've made all their money back after the first.
Was Rogue One Disney?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's the last Star Wars movie I genuinely enjoyed.
They made all their money back after the release of The Force Awakens. They made $4.5 billion with that movie.
Jesus
Really?
Christ. You think about that fucking money. Jesus
They
fucking Christ.
they bought
$4.9
the entirety of
billion.
Lucasfilm for $4.5 billion with a B dollars, and their
By the way-
their first movie they did, they made all that money back, and everything after that was all fucking cash for them.
Oh no, they made a fuck ton of money on it.
And that's why they went ahead and made the Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland.
All the stuff, yeah.
Yeah, because they're making nothing but money, because Disney is basically
but money.
is a themed shopping mall with rides.
Yeah.
I've never been. I haven't been to
So-
Disneyland in like 20 years. So.
I got to go on my 50th birthday, going on 4 years ago now, and the first thing I noticed is it looks like an old timey like downtown, but everything is a shop that sells high end shit, and all the rides end with you in one of those shops. Every
What a
single one.
shocker.
Of course.
Every single one of them.
Capitalism.
Capitalism land.
No, when you
delicious.
go through the Smuggler's Run, which is the Millennium Falcon ride, the queue for that is like walking through the ship itself, which is really cool. You get to
Honestly, Disneyland has always done really good at that, like making sure that when you're standing in line, you're actually somewhat entertained.
yeah.
That is something I will give them.
And then when you come out the other end, it's in a very like you look like you're on Jakku, which is that village where Rey is picked up at in the Force Awakens. And
Yeah, I haven't seen the last 2 Star Wars movies.
no, I'm talking about the first one. The first one.
The first of the last
Oh,
one.
okay.
Where-
First and last.
It's like, let's take that one. That's a piece of shit, and it ends up being the Millennium Falcon. But
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I
I try to forget that movie.
No, I don't know why.
I enjoyed Force Awakens.
You know,
I
honestly-
enjoyed The Force Awakens. That's why I got mad at The Last Jedi, because I actually liked The Force Awakens.
Oh,
and was
dude,
like into all the lore things.
Okay, to be fair, I hated the prequels too. I still hate the prequels.
I don't hate them as much as I just don't enjoy them. I don't hate.
Maybe that's fair. You know what? That's I don't enjoy the prequels. You're right. That's
And
a
then-
way
and then-
better, more fair statement.
And because of I've listened to like 20-something-year-olds talk about how it was there for Star Wars. I'm like, that's how I feel about the original movie, Star Wars, before they called it, A New Hope. And before they added all the extra shit.
That's fair. That's a fair take.
And I rewatched it in the last couple of years. And those movies, while they can be a little problematic with some of the voice actors portraying things certain ways,
Wait, what?
like the characters were all stereotypes of ethnic people. Like
I do not agree with the Jar Jar Binks one. Jar Jar Binks is played by an actual black guy.
It is, and he came up with that voice. That was his contribution to the character. They did not write it in a way that made him talk that way. He chose to talk that way.
Exactly.
Oh, really?
To me,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the stereotypical would have been. The one thing I will
What a
say that I
twist.
hated about the prequels is the fact that they definitely, and no one can ever convince me otherwise, they were going to make Jar Jar the original Sith. They were going to do that. I am completely convinced. There is so much evidence in the prequels that they were going to do that, and then they changed their mind because they realized how mad people would be because everyone hated Jar Jar.
Yeah. Well, there is a fan theory that he's actually a Sith Lord, and that is
They were going to do
that's
that.
all an act. No, that's a fan theory. I don't
No,
think that was
you
ever
can.
real.
You can look at some. Here's the thing. Remember, Jar Jar was animated. There's literally videos of like when Padme is saying something or like that, and you can see him go kind of make a motion with his hand, and he will be mimicking the words on her mouth.
Yeah.
You can never. He fucking. Huh? I'm sorry.
Ahmed Best was wearing a costume that put Jar Jar's head on top of him. He wore like a bike helmet with the head on it, and he wore the outfit that Jar Jar was wearing. The only thing was he didn't have like the fish hands and the fish legs and stuff, but he was wearing the full costume.
As far as how they like shot him?
Yeah, I mean they shot it live. And they just
of course
digitally replaced him with the CGI character.
Yeah, he had all the balls all over him and stuff. And...
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. That's mostly how they do that.
Motion capture. Yeah.
Yeah. So he can he's extremely clumsy, can't survive in a situation, yet somehow he can like double, triple black flips into the water without making a sound. He survives a gigantic fucking major battle.
I mean, it's
He is very much like Inspector Gadget. You know, he's accidentally a genius.
I know it's just a fan theory, but I do genuinely think there's enough evidence that they were going. And I want to say, in fact, that season, what was number 2 was going to be called like The Adventures of Jar Jar or something.
Oh,
initially,
are you talking about the Clone Wars cartoon?
No, it was literally gonna be the working title for like the second movie on the script was like Adventures of Jar Jar or something.
I think it would be great. I think it'd be great if Lucasfilm took that fan theory and made it reality. Because if we find out like 30 years later that he was not this bumbling idiot, that he was manipulating everybody like Palpatine.
I think he was actually supposed to be Palpatine's number 2, but I don't think they expected the public outcry as how much they hated Jar Jar to be as loud as it was.
Yeah, that could be.
So they backed off.
I do know that in the sequel trilogy, the reason why people hate these movies as much as they do is because of the choices they made with the existing dialogue and video footage of Carrie Fisher that they could use after she died. Now, if she hadn't died until after the movies were done, we would have probably gotten a complete trilogy that was way better. For what we got, I think it's because of what they had available to them and how they were able to put everything together to make a cohesive story, even though a lot of people say that it's not very cohesive. There was a lot of things that looked like they were retconned from Episode 7 that was in Episode 8, Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. I was like, why would they do that? That's dumb. And then of course it got those things that got undone were re-put back in place in the last one, which is the one I really love because I the second time I watched it around, I realized that at some point during one of the fights, Kylo Ren falls to his death. Okay, you don't see him die, but you see him fall into a massive ravine.
Never done that before,
right? And he at some point he climbed out of the ravine and was helping her fight her grandfather. Spoiler alert.
I know about the movie. I've read all about it. I just don't want to see it.
In that moment, I realized when I realized what had happened was that when he climbed out of that ravine, it wasn't him. It was a Force ghost done by Leia, his mother, to help Rey fight the bad guy. And when he died, she died. They disappeared at the same exact time. And that's when I made the connection that wasn't really him. That was her Force ghosting her son to help her Padawan. And that's why I really like that movie. I go back and rewatch it every once in a while, and I was like, yeah, this still kicks ass. I know a lot of people hate that movie because of why does
which one is that?
The Rise of Skywalker.
The final one.
The final one, yeah. I really like that movie because it's all about family. Number one, Number two, it's like it's remembering the people that came before you. Like that one guy in Rogue One says, "I am with the Force, and the Force is with me." Right? That's not what she says in the movie, but it has that same kind of vibe to it, right? And so and then at some point you kind of see that Leia kind of was training Rey to be a Jedi, and you saw in like a flashback sequence that Leia was taught by Luke after he came back at the end after the end of Jedi, and so Leia became a Jedi Master as well, and now she's teaching this next generation, and at the end, Rey, knowing her grandfather is this giant piece of shit and super problematic, right? She decides that she's going to adopt this other family that's been really good to her, and that's the Skywalkers. And that's what people freaked out over. She's not a fucking Skywalker. How dare she? That's not respectable. Blah, 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 blah. And now that's why I love that movie. So, anyways, getting back to the stories here. Oh, man.
Hey, it's fair. We're just want to talk about stuff, right? Don't matter. Keep going.
The last story I have here is Marvel star hints at MCU Venom with new look at Spider-Man Brand New Day villain. So apparently we might see Venom in the next Spider-Man movie, is what I'm getting at from that. It says here that has to sting. It's been 8 years since Michael Mando's Mac Gargan was set up to become Spider-Man's villain, the Scorpion, in 2017's Homecoming, which saw the friendly neighborhood web crawler played by Tom Holland ground Adrian Toomes, the Vulture, played by Michael Keaton. He's Batman, though. And two shockers, Logan Marshall Green and Bookham Woodbine, all while dealing with low-level crooks like the Tinkerer, played by Michael Chernus, and Adrian Davis, the Prowler, Donald Glover. With total of 6 supervillains set up in Homecoming, one is finally getting their tail told, tail as in animal tail, in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Mando, the man's last name, Michael Mando, is already confirmed that he'll be suiting up as Scorpion in the new movie. Previously taken to Instagram to post selfies of Gargan's Scorpion neck tattoo, now the Better Call Saul star has shared a sneak peek of himself in the makeup chair as Gargan's mangled look. The result of his run-in with a Staten Island ferry has created a prosthetic, created through prosthetic makeup effects. Oh man, I thought they were going to talk about the fucking Venom here, but it's Scorpion they're talking about. Okay, that works too.
No, that's actually kind of cooler. To be honest with you, I think that's cooler.
I mean, I really want to see the MCU version of Venom. I do enjoy the one we got.
Who do you want to play Venom?
I mean, the guy. I mean, I can't think of his name right off the top of my head, but the one who.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Yeah, Tom Hardy.
He did a fantastic job. I don't think they should replace him. I think that the version we should see though is the more comic accurate one with the Spider-Man logo on his chest and all that stuff. You know.
I could see them tying it together if Venom, like the Venom symbiote, would develop a specific hatred for Spider-Man and like form that like out of spite. They could make that work.
Well, I mean, at this point, he doesn't know Peter Parker or Spider-Man according to those other movies.
But they could. I mean, how long would it take for them to tie those together?
Honestly,
realistically, they could have them meet in the first 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah,
and
I think what they're probably going to do is because of the whole multiverse of madness, they're going to do an alternate universe and just use the same actor and just have it be like they were college buddies or something. And they used to work together or some other shit.
It sounds like either way, they're gonna do the fucking. And honestly, if they're not gonna do fucking Hardy, I'm kind of glad they're doing the fucking Scorpion guy. That sounds at least different, and an excuse not to use Hardy, right?
Yeah. I mean,
didn't they?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, didn't they already kind of do a thing with Tom Hardy's Venom where like the Doctor Strange ring showed up in a post credits scene and he went through it, and then they kind of bailed on what they were gonna do because like the third Venom movie starts out in the bar from that post credit scene, and he like comes back from a Doctor Strange ring, and like it's just like wow.
I mean, that's probably how they're gonna like tie it in with the MCU. They're gonna have it be like, he walked through one of Strange's portal rings, and have him come through, and there's gonna be some like Brandon said, there's gonna be some sort of fight where like Peter thinks this guy is like a bad guy because he looks fucking evil as shit. I mean, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I do want to see Venom though. I'm glad. I would much rather see Tom Hardy than like Topher Grace.
Agreed. But I also keep in mind, this is also the Venoms are R-rated, right? Or
Yes.
PG-13. Yeah.
R-rated,
So
yeah.
tying those two together is also a risk on just kind of that style, that they might lose viewers because they might think it's more violent than the others. So,
I mean, they did do a PG-13 version of Deadpool 2, which didn't do terribly.
They did? Did they release it in theaters?
I didn't even know that either. I had no idea.
It's called Once Upon a Deadpool, and it has Deadpool and oh shit,
Cable?
No. Hold on. It's the Savage, the kid from Wonder Years.
Oh, Fred Savage.
Oh,
Fred Savage. So they do this whole like Princess Bride thing where.
Okay. I've seen clips of that. I thought it was for something
Savage
else.
is in a replica of that room, and Deadpool's reading to him the story of Deadpool 2, and it's really funny. Because the reason why they did that is because there was a bunch of scenes that they couldn't show to kids. Period. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
So I think that was smart. I don't know if Disney's going to do that or Marvel Studios is going to do that. I think it's a good idea to have two separate versions of that movie. We can have the rated R one and have another version of it released separately after the first run of Deadpool, whatever, comes out.
I feel like they do it the opposite direction. I feel like they do the PG-13 one first and then release the R-rated version.
That's not what they did with Deadpool 2. They did Deadpool 2.
But Deadpool is not Spider-Man.
Good point. But the thing is, Ryan Reynolds is still really awesome, and people like him. So,
I agree.
Yeah, they're not going to do a rated R Spider-Man. There will never be a rated R Spider-Man.
I could see them doing a special release. If they did like a Venom Spider-Man crossover, I could see them having a special cut that they release separately.
That's what I'm saying. They'll do it.
Spider-Man's like the holy cow, like the sacred cow.
I agree they would never release an R-rated Superman into the theaters straight off. That would just be because here's the thing, kids would be pissed.
I think that he could exist in an R-rated world.
Oh, sure.
And
sure, most of these characters would.
The adults would love the shit out of it, and then if like 6 weeks or 9 weeks later they release the PG-13 version where they have some scenes swapped out with something that's less violent or less problematic in any way, shape, or form, then the kids can go see that version, and there wouldn't be any kind of like, hey, do not take your kids to see this version. This version is R-rated. There's going to be harsh language. There's going to be lots of violence. There's going to be, you're going to probably see titties. So don't take your kids to see that. But the PG-13
as long as Spider-Man's not in the name, they could do something like that. I doubt Spider-Man will ever be in a movie that has some good titties.
That's a great idea. Have it be like the MCU's like Venom meets Peter kind of thing.
Yeah, so basically Vertigo comics is what we're saying here.
But what I would absolutely love to see as far as like all these movies that we've been talking about, I would love to see some Elseworlds and some What Ifs and whatever they called it for Star Wars. There was a comic where it was like an Elseworlds or What if Vader had not died at the end of Empire, and he became good. He became a Jedi again, where he wore a white version of the same outfit.
I think he would improve it because his outfit sucked.
I mean, it's essentially the same outfit. It's the robes and the helmet and the computer and the whispering, not whispering, the breathing,
Rasping.
heavy breathing thing, the rebreather, but it's all white instead of all black. And I would absolutely love it if they did that. If they did either that story or a version of that story would be amazing.
I want them to be a huge part of the extended universe and what they call the Legends now. It was, it was actually good.
They have been cherry picking Legends to pull shit out. They've already brought back Thrawn. They brought back Thrawn. He
was a great character. I'm not surprised. Out of everything that they could have picked, that is like the least surprising one. That's
they brought him back. They brought him back in, I think, not Clone Wars. They brought him back in Rebels. They brought him back in Rebels, and then they brought him back in Ahsoka, a live action version, played by the same guy that did him in Rebels. So, what is that? Mikkelsen? Mads Mikkelsen?
Mads Mikkelsen.
His brother. Yeah. Not Mads, but his brother is the guy who plays Thrawn. I don't remember the guy's name. But, he's coming back too in season 2, I would imagine, because at the very end, you have to watch Ahsoka. If you guys haven't seen all of Mandalorian, season 2 is amazing. Season 3 is okay.
Season 3 is the Book of Boba Fett, right?
No. It's actually an actual season 3.
Did they do I would have seen it. I must have seen it.
Yeah,
I don't remember season 3.
They do have a season 3. It came out after the Book of Boba Fett. And the Book of Boba Fett was like a total of 6 episodes, I think. The first 3,
and like half of them were about Mandalorian and
the first 3 were Tamara Morrison as Boba Fett, and then like episodes 4, 5, and 6 were all about Din Djarin, the Mando. So they kind of worked together in those last 3 episodes, but still, it was all about Mando in those last 3 episodes. People hated that.
That's when it got good, though. That's when those are the best episodes.
No,
like when he's learning to use the darksaber, and it has like all this weight because he's fighting it.
Right, and he doesn't know how to hold it, so he's like constantly like hurting himself with a fucking sword.
Yeah, I thought that was great, like great storytelling.
He gave himself a massive gash on his leg or something. He had to get fixed up. I was like, yeah, don't hold it like that again. It's like, no shit. I mean, he doesn't say those exact words, but that was the intent of what he responded with. It was like, yeah, no kidding. I mean, the other thing people found out, which upset them, was that the guy inside the Mandalorian outfit wasn't Pedro Pascal. I mean, it was in maybe 1 or 2 scenes, but the rest of the series was like the body double or the stunt guy.
Huh.
It was his voice throughout the entire series, though.
Yeah, that's how they were able to make it with how busy his schedule is.
And I think that's why he would not take his helmet off. And the 2 times you saw him take his helmet off are the times that he was actually on set.
Yeah, exactly. And what's funny is throughout the last several years, I would read these stories all the time that would come up, like these Hollywood gossip stories that are like, Pedro Pascal threatens to quit Mandalorian because he's not getting enough screen time. Like he wants more helmet off.
And
it's like he's not even there to have his helmet off. What are you guys talking about?
The funny thing is that's actually kind of what Tamara Morrison was like. That's why he never put his helmet on, because he wanted people to know it's him. And and he was like, and how can you call yourself a Mandalorian if you don't wear your fucking bucket, man? What are you doing? All right, so we should get on to that's some weird shit.
Welcome to What's Cheap.
Oh, wrong one.
Take 2. I said take 2.
Take 2.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. It's that one. Okay.
Welcome to That's Some Weird Shit, where we dig up the craziest, quirkiest stories that make you go, what the heck just happened? Buckle up, it's about to get weird.
All right.
As if this episode hasn't been weird enough already.
Right?
I know, right?
Again, sorry for my meltdown, folks.
It's all good. I'm sorry for pissing you off.
You didn't do it on purpose, and that's the only reason why I've calmed down. You're not doing it on purpose. You're not doing it on purpose, right? I'm
Oh,
kidding.
of course. Maybe. No,
Maybe. All right, so Texas rancher tycoon. Oh my God! When I first read this, I cackled so fucking loud. I was like, of course he did. This guy, he's a prominent Texas rancher tycoon. He was fatally gored by a buffalo in a brutal attack in South Africa. Because I guess he didn't want to go see the Titanic, apparently. So it says here, Texas millionaire Asher Watkins.
Oh,
that is got to be the most redneck name I've ever heard. Asher, from
Watkins.
the prominent Watkins Ranch Group in Dallas, was killed by a Cape buffalo during a hunting trip with Conrad Vermaak Safaris in South Africa on Sunday, August 3rd, according to a recent report from People. The Safari Group confirmed that that on Tuesday, August 7th, that Watkins at 52 died in a sudden, unprovoked, what the fuck ever?
Unprovoked.
Yeah, attack by an unwounded buffalo. What do you guys want to bet that buffalo are very territorial?
Well, I also like that it calls it a sudden, unprovoked attack.
Right.
But then in the very next sentence, it says Watkins was tracking the buffalo together with a professional hunter. So, like, how do you call it unprovoked if you're stalking it?
Yeah, he saw you fucking coming up behind him. He was like, this motherfucker. He's better not. And yeah, so that's what happened here, and that's why I kind of giggled at this guy, because, it sure as hell wasn't unprovoked. Fuck that. That is absolute horseshit.
Oh, he provoked it. Yep.
Dude. I think this is karma's way of giving people the FAFOs that they need. So yeah, I think there's a little bit more, but it's about how poor, how bad it must have been for his family, and how this is a terrible thing. I don't believe that's a terrible thing at all. He's a billionaire. Fuck him.
Yep.
Well, and if you think it's a terrible thing, don't go trophy hunting.
Yeah,
Right?
maybe don't go sneaking up behind a buffalo, dumbass.
I saw this story as a reel, and so I had to go on the internet to find an actual story about this. But this Florida man. Oh my God! So Florida man arrested after trying to cross the Atlantic in a human-powered hamster wheel. And if you see this image here, oh my God! I'm surprised he actually survived, enough to be arrested. Something like this.
What? This doesn't look perfectly safe to you?
I mean,
Oh my God!
His
Look at
cage
that
with
thing.
flotation devices that he rode out into the ocean.
it's a metal cage held up by like buoys and like
Yeah, it's like one of those the zipper from a carnival where like you're in the little metal cage that spins around as it goes around.
Yeah.
Like he's going through one of those through the ocean.
You know what? Maybe I can.
What the fuck?
Let me see if I can share this real quick so people
This
can see.
story is crazy.
All right,
Who
folks.
does something like this?
This is what it looks like, folks. So yeah, I mean, can you? Okay, I'm done sharing that because I want to scroll down. I don't want it to disappear on everybody, so I had to just turn it off. It says here, a man from Florida, no surprise, who was trying to cross the Atlantic in a human-powered hamster wheel was arrested by the Coast Guard, according to court documents. Reza Baluchi was
Baluchi,
I think, was 70 miles off of Georgia when officers found him during a manifestly unsafe voyage. While Hurricane Franklin was headed towards the area, the Coast Guard said Wednesday in a statement on Facebook that the vessel was afloat as a result of wiring and buoys.
It's held together by wiring and buoys and probably some duct tape.
Some duct tape and probably some Bazooka Joe gum.
Yeah, a little spackle.
Why would you do this?
He's from Florida, Brandon. You don't need any other explanation other than he's from Florida.
Holy shit! That's not even well
and
designed.
It says he was arrested after a 3-day standoff with authorities. You ain't gonna get my pod.
Get away from my buoys!
You can't arrest me. I'm in international waters. No, you're not.
We
I
all
don't know
float
you.
on already.
Yeah. It says, at one point, Bellucci, who refused to get off the vessel, displayed 2 knives and
No, I
threatened
will not come out.
and to hurt himself if officers boarded. According to charges filed in U.S. District Court for Southern Florida, he also threatened to blow himself up, at which point Coast Guard officers on site contacted the Navy to determine the location of the alleged bomb. But Bellucci, later revealed that the bomb was not real, according to the complaint. I mean, I kind of wish we could use that bit that the men's group used to do, which was like, is it blah 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 or Florida? Yeah, I can't remember.
I think it was Germany or Florida.
That's Adam Carolla. Yeah, I used to do Germany or Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
They did something similar on the men's show, but yeah. So we just find just really off the wall stories and just see if you guys can guess what part of the world it's from. Actually, we did that. We did that. We did that a few episodes back, didn't we? Didn't Doug?
I think the last time Brandon was on.
Yeah.
We did a version of it. We talked about that.
We should do that more because those were hilarious. Because this is easily Florida. You're like, nope, that was blah blah blah. I was like, oh shit. But yeah, no.
Well, make those some weird stories, and we can try and guess where they're from.
Yeah.
Is it Florida or is it someplace else?
Florida or not Florida?
Florida or Florida derp. Okay. And last story here, because I guess the 4th one is being postponed until next week. A scientist says he has solved the Bermuda Triangle just like that. Here's what you'll learn when you read the story. An Australian scientist says probabilities are the leading cause of the Bermuda Triangle disappearances. He's not the only one.
What does that mean?
I don't really know. Those are lots of syllables, and I don't really know how they go together. Add in a suspect weather, an iffy plane, and a boat piloting, and Carl something ski believes there's no reason to believe. Huh?
Carl Kruszelnicki.
Okay, whatever you said.
So probabilities means that there's no greater chance of you crashing in the Bermuda Triangle than anywhere else.
Okay.
It's such a large area that you're taking into account that it's actually not. It's just the chances of something happening in that area. That's just how it is. It's nothing supernatural. That's just normal.
In the early 2000s, the guy who created, I can't. Anyways, he did a mini series called The Triangle. It was 3 episodes. It was about like the Bermuda Triangle, and it was about this billionaire trying to find his long lost brother. Long story short, turns out the problem with the Bermuda Triangle is the U.S. government is trying to do time travel, and the more they fuck with time travel, the more the triangle starts taking people. So, great series. Look it up, The Triangle. But yeah, I don't know. I saw the Bermuda Triangle maybe explained, and I thought this would have some words that made sense to the average human being. The final thing here says pick any one of more than 50 ships or 20 planes that have disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle in the last century. Each one has a story about without an ending, leading to a litany of conspiracy theories about the disappearances in the area, marked by roughly Florida, Bermuda, and the Greater Antilles. Australian scientist Carl What's-His-Fuck doesn't subscribe to the Bermuda Triangle's supernatural reputation. Neither does the United States' own National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association, or NOAA. Both have been saying for years that there's no Bermuda Triangle mystery. In fact, the loss and disappearances of ships and planes is a mere fact of probabilities. It's so anticlimactic.
So basically, what they're saying is like Brandon was saying, it's when you control for the variables like weather, it's no more likely to have a crash there than, and like, you know, draw a random triangle anywhere that planes and ships regularly go, and you'll have roughly the same percentage of crashes or events. You might have a little bit more in this area because the weather's particularly bad or something like that. But when you control for that, it's no different. It's no more.
Yeah.
No more advantageous. So I guess that brings us to the end of another episode, guys.
Yes, it does. Let me please.
If you're still listening, please like and subscribe. Please share with your friends. Leave us a comment on the YouTube page. Leave us a voicemail at the phone number. If you leave a voicemail anytime during the week, we'll check those before next week's show, and we'll play them on the air if they're worth it. If they're not just somebody yelling and screaming or a series of high-pitched whines.
Or like someone who gave our number to a group that is cold calling people.
Maybe we'll call back if it's a listener.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys, thanks for listening. And like Doug said, leave a comment down below, whether it be on YouTube or on Spotify or over on the Patreon. And if you
But YouTube especially, please.
Yes, absolutely. But there are other places that people can leave comments, is what I'm getting at. So, not saying that you shouldn't comment on all of them. I think you should comment on all of them. But we do have those other places too. So, go to adhp.live, and that will take you to our Patreon. Everything that's on there currently is absolutely free. We don't have anything behind the paywall as of yet. When we figure out what we're going to do with that, then we'll start promoting that stuff. So, see you guys next week.
Forget the rules, I make my own. Zigzag thoughts I've overgrown. Chasing sparks in every lane. Don't try to fix what fuels this flame.